All right, welcome back. This is level 2. And now that you have the basic principle down, I want to go a little more in depth about being able to read or play songs that are a little more complex than the one we had at level 1. So here we go. Once again, the most important part of this system is to know the time signature. So, for example, because most songs are in the time signature of 4/4, we'll write that time. And all our chord charts here at church have this, but let's say it's 4/4. So remember again, the top number is what matters. Every column is going to have 4 beats. So here we go. Let's say, for example, there is a song that doesn't necessarily last 4 beats, one of the chords. Well, how would you write it then? Well, it's simple. This is what we would do. We would still have the imaginary columns, however many we want. I'm just going to, for simplicity's sake, I'm going to put 4 columns like I did last time. Most songs are written that way in groups of 4. So once again, we're in the key of G. Let's say the chords went something like this. G, C, D, G. But let's say it gets a little more complex. It goes to C, A minor, C, D, G. So as you can see here, it's a little crowded here. What would happen is I would put an underline over these 2 chords. And what the underline represents is that everything that is underlined would represent 4 beats. It would be like an imaginary column here, here. So this would be within 4 beats. Now, if that's all that you see is an underline, guess what happens to those 4 beats? They get shared equally. So you would play 2 beats of C, and then you would switch and play 2 beats of A minor. So now this would be played this way. I'll show you. It'd be G, 2, 3, 4, C, 2, 3, 4, D, 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 G, 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 C, C, A minor, C, 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 D, 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 G, 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 G. So it's as simple as that. Underline means whatever's underlined shares 4 beats. Now, let's go and imagine if it wasn't in 4/4, it was in 6/8. We learned last time the top number, 6. Each column would get 6 beats. Well, if that was the case, the same thing would be true for these 2 chords. It would share 6 beats equally. So now you would get C 3 times and A minor 3 times. So I hope that makes sense. Now, most songs would only get to this complexity. It wouldn't really get much more complex than this, but sometimes you will find a song here and there that won't have even number of beats for the chord changes. So if that were to happen, then this is how you would write it. Let's say on this D chord, it went from D to the C and then to the G, but they're not shared equally. This is what you would see. You would still get the underline representing that both of these chords are within one measure, sharing 4 beats, but if they're not equal, what I would do is write this. So let's say on the D here, I would put 3 periods or 3 dots. And then on the C, I would put 1. So that would represent an uneven measure of 4 beats. And as you can see, that's total common sense. You would stay on D 3 beats and change to C. So now this whole thing played would be like this. And if you can, try to count this out with me unless you're playing your instrument. That way you can kind of know exactly how to count this. Let's count this together at about this tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. G, 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 G. C, 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 C. D, 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 C. G, 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 G. C, C, A minor, C, 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 C. D, 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 G, 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 G. Now, for this example, the time signature would have to be in 4/4 because here there's only 4 dots. So if it was in 6/8, then, you know, if for some reason it had like 4 beats and then 2 beats here, you would write that, but I don't think I've ever seen or at least played a song that was dividing it up that much. So there you go. That's lesson number 2. I will put up another lesson to go into step 3, level 3, that will actually take this system and make it something that we're a little more familiar with, that will have the same concepts but will actually be easier and more practical for us to play by. So there you go.